It Bit Show, where we bring you health practitioners who bring answers to your mind-blowing questions with regards to our health issues. My name is Mawina Latte. Our topic for discussion is on heat and its health implications. And our guest for today is no other than Dr. Olivia Chalak, who is a health practitioner at the UGMC, that is the University of Ghana Medical Center. You're welcome to Health It Bit Show, Doc.
Thank you, Marina.
How are you doing?
I'm great, and you?
I'm great. You're looking beautiful.
Thank you. I'm just learning from you.
All right. Look, do we have any cause for concern about this recent rise in the heat wave?
Yes, we have a lot of reasons to be concerned. Aside the general discomforts that we are all experiencing from the heat that is out there, you can also have something we call a heat exhaustion. And when it becomes worse, you can have something we call a heat stroke that needs management in the hospital. So you may be asking, what is a heat exhaustion? It is the body's response to excessive loss of water and salts from the body. So
water and salt?
Yes. So what happens is if the weather is very hot, you notice that you sweat.
Yeah.
It is the body's cooling mechanism. So as the body removes the water from the body, it takes out the heat and makes the body feel cool.
Okay.
That's how the body cools itself. So when there is heat, the body can just balance itself and be a little cool. But when the heat is persistent, the body will lose a lot of water. And if you've ever tasted your sweat, you would see that your sweat is soft.
Salty, yeah.
So your body is not just losing the water, it is also losing the salts. Now, when you have a heat exhaustion, there are certain signs that you may have. You may begin to feel weak. You may begin to have cramps in your muscle. It can make some people even vomit and all that. And when it goes on and it becomes a heat stroke, someone can lose consciousness. Somebody can have a seizure. Someone can have can become disoriented.
Okay, because of heat.
Because of excessive heat.
Okay.
Like being exposed to heat over a long period of time, that has led to dehydration.
Okay, so these are specific diseases related to heat.
Yes.
Excessive heat.
Yes,
okay.
Specific. And also, we have people who already have chronic illnesses. So now we are looking at the aged population. When you age, your body is not as solid as it used to be and is not able to handle certain stresses. So when you have elderly people who have comorbid conditions, like people who have hypertension, diabetes, people who have stroke, it's very severe for these people. Why? Why is it severe? It's because they have dehydration. Now when you become dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker than it's supposed to be, and that increases your risk of forming blood clots. Now these blood clots can go into your brain, give you a stroke, go into your heart, give you a heart attack. So dehydration is not something to be played around with, especially for the elderly community that have other diseases that they have to battle with.
So that means they have to take in a lot of fluid.
Yes.
Especially water.
Yes. Taking in a lot of fluid. Sometimes for some people, having these sports drinks also can help. Like you see these athletes have these drinks that have some ions that can help you replace what you've lost. Also, you can avoid being in the sun at the peak hours.
How do you do that? We have our mothers on the sun selling to get your daily bread. How do you not go on the sun to even do something? You can't just say because of
I will
this.
not eat.
Because of this, I will not eat.
You certainly will eat. So there are a few things that can help.
Okay, so what are some of them?
So for example, when you go into the marketplaces, you see that people have umbrellas. Okay, so if So people should employ more mechanisms that bring them shade.
Okay.
Umbrellas, the use of umbrellas, drinking of water.
Okay.
Also, when you can, you do not need to be consistently be in the heat, because maybe the market may have its peak hours, but it may also have some times that customers are not always buying. In those times, if you have the luxury to, you can be in a cool place. Another thing you can also do to survive the heat is to tepid sponge your body.
What is that?
You know, when babies are warm, we just put a towel in water and we put the water over their skin. It helps the high temperatures to go down. It's the same thing. When there's a lot of heat out there, your body's temperature also increases. So the same sponging that you do for babies who have high temperatures is the same thing you can also do for yourself to help your body cool down. Also, you may be drinking water, but I think you may want to drink cold water. If you can't drink very cold water, so that it can cool your body system down.
I understand some people do put ice block in their bath water to bath. I mean, is that healthy?
I've done some before. Sometimes the weather is too hot and you really need it to really cool down. But for the average young person who doesn't have certain health problems, it may not be a big deal. But if the person is a little elderly, you have to be very careful not to give the person too cold water. No one to kind of worry them.
Okay, so but then again, are those two, the heat exhaustion and the heat stroke, are those two the only health implications?
So the health implications, these are the direct ones, but it also has implication on people who already have diseases, like we mentioned. People who have strokes, people who already have heart illnesses and all that. Now, when you are severely dehydrated, you can even have heart problems, yes, because of the severe dehydration. So for the elderly community that may not necessarily need to be out there, they should avoid the sun at the peak hours, which is from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if there's a way that you can restructure your activities to avoid those peak heat moments, that will greatly help.
But will this recent rise in heat, will applying sunscreen on your skin help?
Well, it will provide some benefits, I must say. It's better because the purpose of the sunscreen is supposed to reduce the direct effects of the UV rays. That is also known to have increase your risk of getting some form of skin cancer. So we are not just talking about the heat exhaustion and people with comorbid conditions, but when you are out there in the sun, you are also at risk of some skin, such as common skin, some of the skin cancers, and also other skin implications like your skin can become very dry when the skin heat rash. When your skin is very dry, sometimes it can break and all those things. And sometimes if the body is not able to recover, your skin color can change, when you are in the sun for a long time.
Yeah, it's like you're fair and you become dark. Oh, okay. So these are some of the measures that we can take to
mitigate some of the complications
and to stay healthy. Then it's really a concern.
It really is. It really is.
Okay.
Because it can even affect your sleep patterns. If the weather is too hot. If the weather is too hot and you're unable to sleep, and because of that, even you are not able to rest well. People who have BPs, their BPs can go up in that time because of the lack of rest. Can
one even develop insomnia?
that's a bit to the extreme, but it's possible.
It's possible.
And also, I saw a paper that was done, I think a research that was done in New York about people with mental health illnesses coming more to the emergency department because of the heat. You know, they saw it. Have you noticed that?
Hold that thought. We'll talk more on that.
Yeah.
So we are discussing heat and its health implications, and Doc just made mention of mental health on the rise because of the heat. We are going on a quick commercial break. Please stay.
Are you worried about how to get to all the assemblies, contact of MMDCs or assembly members and other assembly officials, or lodging of complaints among others? Simply call the toll-free number on all networks and you'll be provided with excellent services. And hey, remember, it's a free call on all networks.
Welcome back. So we are still discussing heat and its health implications. And before the break, Doc made an interesting revelation. So Doc, you continue what you were saying.
Yes, so in New York, they noticed that people who already had mental health issues in the summertime, especially when they experienced the heat wave, they saw that these people who already have mental health issues began to report to the emergency department a little more frequently. Yes.
So what was it? So it's just the heat, overheating that is causing that?
They can't really tell, but they just noticed that when the weather was cool, it wasn't this hot, this category of people were not coming in as much.
Okay.
You know, so they want to make a link between it, and it makes sense. But if you have noticed, when the weather is hot, you are sweaty, you get easily tired, and you can even get easily frustrated with things. You know. And it's the same thing that can just go on and on and on in the heat. And there are certain jobs that can even be a little more difficult to do with the heat. Can you imagine someone who is a hawker? Can you imagine the extent of tiredness and stress the person will be under to do the same work in such heat?
Yeah.
But maybe on a cool day, the person will not experience such stress.
Yeah.
And if the stress levels are high, it can tip into other forms of mental illnesses. So
that means the heat, excessive heat, causes abnormalities.
It can lead to some form of abnormal patterns of behaviors just because of the stress. You know, if somebody is under a lot of stress, the person can easily get angry, you know, over something that may even be petty. But the heat, the tiredness, the frustration that comes with it can easily make some of these emotional states get a little more aggravated. Because if you are walking in the sun, you'll be tired faster than if you were walking in the so those things can. So it's not strange to see the trotro mates get angry or the trotro mates quarrel with the hawker on the street. Both of them are stressed.
Okay.
So it can lead to
some form of abnormality,
some excessive behavior on that side. But
all these are related to mental health.
All these are related to mental health. So it's not just the little discomforts. The people who are having little discomfort with the heat are in places like a house, a room, but the people who are directly under the sun have quite a different experience from just discomfort.
What's your last words to our viewers?
My last words to our viewers is that if you can avoid the peak hours of the hot sun, please do. That's between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Stay hydrated. Drink a lot of juice. If you have some sports drink, you can drink, have it. If you have a sunscreen, apply it. And for our elderly, we prefer that you were not in the heat for a long time. Stay healthy.
Stay healthy indeed. Thank you very much, Dr. Olivia Chalak.
Thank you, Marina.
It has indeed been an interesting discussion with Dr. Olivia Chalak on heat and its health implications. My name is Marina Lati. Thanks for watching.